seems to become a habit where the game isn't actually open. Also, it'll probably be loud. I don't think I changed the sound settings back last time I played, which I think was maybe only yesterday. Or the day before. One of them. In other random news, I now own, through Good Old Games, Rayman's 1, 2, and 3 on PC. 1 I have in PS1 right next to me and on my PS3, which I can capture. It's just awkward with the changing resolutions through OBS at least. Well, I haven't done anything PS3 yet. The actual HDCP stripping from having an HDMI splitter I can do, but changing the resolution desyncs sound and halves the frame rate, and it's weird, and I think I'd rather capture it in a different way than the PC I have. Yeah. Rayman 2, yep. Which I believe is just the PC port, which is the same as the original ports, content-wise. And also the same as Rayman DS, which I have, the DS re-release. And I want to say I have it on 3DS as well, but I'm not actually sure. Saying that, I think I do remember seeing the cartridge in person. Going off that, literally within grabbing distance. Is it in here? I believe the answer is actually yes. Maybe it's not. Maybe I don't own it. I thought I did. I know I have Origins on 3DS, which is why I bought it on PS3, because 3DS controls for that game, not the best. They were fine up until the... I don't remember the names of the levels. You're in a room and you have to run up the wall, I believe, and there's also a beady man you have to hang off of, and it's stuff... Well, those levels where there's the beady men and the ginger beards you have to hang off of. But yeah, well that I already own in another place, and also Rayman 3, which I own on PS3. Which I also own on PC. I don't know if they'll run on PC, but as in Windows 10. I'd imagine that there's a patch for each if they don't. There usually is. Hey, I did. Acrid. A very overpowered... Oh, it's in my logbook. I doubt it, because it doesn't seem to save half of them. But is it? Yes, it is. A Voidling defeat, where, yeah, How did I die on that run? I don't remember. This was the first item I got. And it just went from there. It was fun. What was it? It was that with, what active item was it? It might have just been Gesture of the... No, it was... It started off as... First of all, Missile Launcher. I think. Or Gesture of the Drowned, whichever one. How many thingies did I have? I had them. Oh yeah, it was Gesture of the Drowned. Thingy. I'm saying forgive me, please. I don't know. I'm sick, at least the end of it, so I'm counting that. Yeah, I was going to go for longer, which is why I had scraps and stuff, but I just decided with the time I was just going to stop. Yeah, and then instead, mainly because of these, I took a Blast Shower instead. Which is where that and these come in. Also, I have one of them. It was a very overpowered run, and them as well. Yeah, these were definitely on Voidling, because I still don't know how to properly dodge the burst shots. I think the answer is actually stay far away, which I wasn't doing. And this I genuinely don't remember how I died. Like, the actual death that happened. I still have one of these left. So obviously this would have happened before I got these. I don't know. Anyway, it was a fun run. And I'm just happy it actually counted. Yeah, they were all on GOG, all £1, 9p. They were very, very cheap. I literally spent less than £5 on 3 games. Which I'm assuming, considering that they all say install, and I'm on Windows 10, I'm assuming, I'll try that one, that they will work just straight away. Like I said, there is probably some patches. Here's a Lucy who has opened the door. Again. I don't know why you're running away from me. All I did was stand up. Ow! Yes, on attention. Come over here and sit behind me then. He's very readily... No, that's in front of me. That's the wrong one. Oop. She's very happily sitting behind me a lot more often now. She's very happily coming to me a lot more often now. Like, a lot. She spends most of her day in with me. I have a messenger message. Here's a link. I shall watch that in a bit. Boop. Oh, of course, like I mute, sniff, unmute, and then now my nose is going, you need to sneeze. Ooh. That won't hit. No. This is Eclipse 6. This is the money one. Unfortunately. Oh. Either way. I'm sure it'll be fine. I say that because I get hit now repeatedly, apparently. Ooh, good. I want that, if not anything else. And these. Oh, and you. I hear you somewhere. There you are. Yeah, there is a slight AoE on Flame Bolt. It's not much, though. There is a chest up here. I might as well. Ooh, it's a big chest, though. Is that going to be even worth the time when it has a high chance of just being something like Left on Daisy? Then if it's a... Yeah, but then if it's something like... Harvester Scythe, that'd be very good. Oh, and that will definitely help when it comes to wanting money. Oh, they're dead. Yo, it's a red. It's an Aegis. Functionally useless right now. Won't be in future. More money is always good. I do see a chest I would like. I'm not overly worried about time. Oh, good. Also good. More enemies for more money. Each of them an effective one-hit kill. I'm just gonna leave. Whee! Ooh, I see a possible good active item. 2 printers for the same item on the same stage. That's unfortunate. That is... I don't know. I'll keep it, why not? What other items are there on the stage? Possibly none. There's that one there. I think that's about it. Yeah, misses. Oh, hold on, no, apparently didn't. You're dead. You're not dead. Now you are. 1, 2. Definitely 2 hits. Anything else? I don't think so. And there goes Lucy. Who I am 100% sure is going to leave and open the door. Because I wasn't paying enough attention to her. There she goes. Apparently unable to open the door. There we go. I might just close the door. Ow. But yeah. Evil quick. Hello. Are there any chests still on the stage? No, I don't think so. Apart from maybe that one, whatever that is. Yeah. Either way. There's a lot of burn happening, which is very, very good. I have no idea where that beetle beam was aiming. One is dead. There's a printer over there. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, no, with where this is, there's unfortunately not much in the way of charging and fighting I can do at the same time. And I think this shall be, not quite, but now boss death. Now, what do I get? Yeah, it's just pretty good. No. Oh, that's an elite. That needs to die. So good it did. Oh, or maybe it was that one. I don't know. Either way, this should be a lot less deadly now. Yeah, Beetle Queen, I don't know. The stage 1 bosses can be surprisingly hard just because of the lack of items on you, and depending on where the teleporter is, the lack of cover. But that's true for every boss. Also, given how it's now Eclipse 6, Aegis is not very useful. Oh, that's Sprinter. Okay, that's fine. Oh well. I killed one, but oh well. Oh, that hit. Fair enough. I like when enemies dodge out of the way of a shot which isn't even within their line of sight. Avoid item. Right, yes, you definitely saw that thing. How much? 73. I think I'd actually rather have the stun here. Sure. If it's Weeping Fungus, I'm happy. Yeah, or Polyloop. No. Apparently there we go. Apparently I couldn't hit that. Yeah, stuff like Polyloot is why I think Plasma Bolt is actually the better option. Just because of... hitting multiple enemies at once in a bigger area. It's just nicer. Oh, there is actually quite a bit over there. Okay. That way then. I would like something regenerative. Or increased health. Doesn't necessarily have to be much, just something. Simply that. What's the other options though? Ice and Steak, oh. Yeah. Could grind for money on the Shrine of Blood, but I don't really think that's too worth it. Okay, fine, you die. And you. There we go. Decent amount of health. 2 chests. Oh yeah, right, and also the equipment, which I didn't even get after I said I was going to look at it. I don't really care. In my opinion, items are probably more important. Overall, this is a decent start. we go. Ah. Yeah, no. Also, did that wisp give me nothing? That missed. There we go, and it was pretty decent. What else is there? All on the other side. Do I go up to that? Do I even need to? I don't think so. I won't. And I am fully aware that the active item I skipped out on could have been a card or a recycler or anything much more powerful, but I don't really care. You don't need it for success, you need it for min-max. I get another one, or I could get that crowbar. Or I could get... I'll get another one. Range and burn time. Yes. Just die. That could have been worse. Little too high, and yes, crowbar does make the most sense right now, I think. Out of those options. Oh, and just more damage in general. Oh, here's an active item anyway. Hopefully it'll help me in the killing variety. Possibly a better option because Artificer is slow. But on the other hand, meh. Another Beetle Queen. That missed. Yeah, come over. No. There we go. Oof. Not necessarily the best idea, considering I could actually have gone and tried to get a focus convergence. That could help given the charge time, and also how after Eclipse 2 it's actually less impactful because it's ratio rather than linear values. Then overall, Artificer has extremely high damage. I doubt I'll really struggle. Especially if I get an Ignition Tank, because then that means that my two sources of fire become very, very powerful. I should have gone for bands, especially considering I actually have a way to see where the buttons are, but I don't really care. Boop. Boop. I know there are some people that will like say that you should absolutely always, without fail, go for them because it's just free items, and in my opinion it's like, yeah they are, but the amount of time saved and effort if you dedicate far too long to it as well. Just move on. I already have one band from the stage anyway. Also, I heard something spawn just then, which is not fun, and I probably will keep doing that like last time Minecraft one, because yeah, they were swapped. So, I am nowhere near as bad as that day, though. That Minecraft stream, I think, was actually the start of just being sick in general. I didn't even see you or hear you. Yeah, luckily, I didn't really... What is that bison doing? Yeah, luckily, I didn't really... Okay. I don't know what you're doing, but sure. Death. That was a lot. Oh, nice. Yeah, no, it literally as bad as it got was yesterday I was sniffy and like from my sinuses being full it just hurt slightly. And that was about it. That's an elite, isn't it? Yep. Ow. What is that? Ooh, a chest. Several. Actually, a lot. Oh, and... Yeah, no. That's... Yeah, 3 more stages. Not bad. I'm surprised it didn't defrost. Multi-shop and that over there, so I'll go up here, do these. Down around there. No. Also, ow. And that was all. I probably should have gone for the elixir. The elixir has the capability to save my life. I'm surprised I didn't hit. Oh, works. Where's the chest? The chest is there. And then there is a Shrine of Chance, another Shrine of something. Several things around, just chests and things. And then also, of course, there is that printer there, which is a dagger, which I wouldn't say no to. Is there a, see no question marks? Unfortunately. Die. Aw. Aw. I'd overroll the pennies. Oh yeah. Oh well. What is this? 187. That's fine. What are you? That? Yeah, okay. There we go. That cooldown was not what I thought it was. I'm actually very happy with the roll of pennies because getting any kind of money that isn't based on enemies is useful. Eclipse 6 is one of the least impactful in terms of the actual gameplay itself. But it's surprising how much of a difference in terms of needing to save money and time. Ow. That was my fault. Oh, there goes 20% extra damage. It's only 1 though, so that's not the worst. Plus I'm gonna make these. Which I should probably find... Oh, there is a question mark. Is that question mark by any chance a scrapper? No, I think that could be where one of the things can spawn. What are you? Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that shrine. Okay, before I do any of this... Ah, there it is. No. They are regularly one of the most annoying enemies. Oh, that's actually quite decent. In that case then, I am gonna go make some daggers. No, losing that watch was entirely my fault. Maybe I stop at 5? Or maybe I don't. Oh, there goes fungus. There goes that. One more. Oh well. And now I have max bleed. Yeah, I see no reason to do that. Ooh. No. I don't know. On one hand, it could be good. On the other hand, it could not be good. You are an overloading, which I missed. Oh, fair enough. And the overloadings are actually still alive. Oh, and there's 2 shrines of gold. Not Ultra of Gold. Ultra of Gold. This is why I don't like those enemies. I mean. So... Ooh, I don't know. You know what? Just for some variety. And extra items. Any other chests? I don't think so. I say that when there's a chest right there. That's a printer though. How much are you? 187. Hey, I didn't know they could jump for you. I don't know if that was worth it or not. Anyway. I'm gonna do a boss. Oh, it's great when your face goes, you need to sneeze, so you stop, and then it goes, oh, never mind. Why? I understand the whole added challenge. But why is there a blazing... I don't know. It didn't freeze. That could have killed me. Ow. Yeah, no, you all need to die. Is there a multi-shop I missed? Oh yeah. Boss is actually taking out a lot of damage. You know what? Sure. Die. Just die. I just thought about it. The reason I like Ion Surge over Flamethrower is the same reason I prefer Thunderbolt over Flame Bolt. They have high damage. Like, each of the fire ones have high damage, but I would argue, low utility. Where, in terms of potential damage, I would argue that each of them can theoretically match, if not surpass. And grouping them both together, because I think Flamethrower will always be a higher damage number. I want to say I'm taking the teddy bear. I don't care, teddy bear. Also, this might add in another shipping request thingy, actually. Whee! Yeah, I just prefer the utility of stuff. That's a laser. I'm gonna run. I felt stuck just then. I'm dead anyway, which is fine. That run didn't exactly have very much. Or get very far. I'm taking that. Potential. Immediate. Now, the best thing I had was Polyloot, and even then, I would argue that that run should have been Plasma Bolt because of the bleed. You are fine. This will be less overall damage, but the utility will be very nice. There is a Shrine of Blood. And a Scrapper. No need for a Scrapper right. Ooh, and that. Good. And a Mocha. I think, right now, the correct answer is the key. Key will lead to high potential and also no real risk of losing it. Big chest. I know there was at least one other chest around. But also like some kind of healing. Preferably of the regeneration variety and not the half-size variety. Ow. I like how I get that and then negate. Why did it choose to go off then? Yeah, I was going to comment on how I got it and then the game just didn't activate it. And then it did activate it, but delayed. I am dead. I am not dead. Die. I understand there's a cooldown, which I'm pretty sure is part of what stacking it does, or stacking it does duration. One of the two. Fair enough, it's on the way, and yeah. There is absolutely nothing in this tunnel, is there? They're all above me. that was a completely worthless tunnel. I do still know that there is the Void Cradle. I haven't forgotten. Perfect. That land, yes, it landed exactly where I wanted it to. Up on that higher platform. No. Yes, that's fine. Possibly another active item over there. In fact, that is... Lead. Lead is good. Would also prefer... No. Ooh, perfect. Stage 1. Ooh, actually... Ooh. They can hit when... Okay, that's interesting. So heal me. Good. And you. Heal me too. I hit one of the Lemurians, that's good. There's the other one. There you are. Nope, die. Well, now I go play with a Void Cradle. As my face is, in fact, picking up. Done. It was over here, wasn't it? Yes. I have nothing, yeah, nothing health sensitive. What is it going to be? Another Polyloot. Let's have that. I'm 90% sure that the thingies have despawned, otherwise I wouldn't have done that. And you know what? As much as it's really not a good idea right now, I need health. Considering what I just did, though Polyloot will definitely help a lot. That is an open chest. Anything in there? No. Big chest. Big chest is good. Teleporter is somewhere. Where is the teleporter? Question for later. No. What are you? No. A waste. Oh, it's over... Yeah, there's a chest over here. I honestly have no idea where the teleporter is. And another chest. Coming over here isn't a waste then. What are you? Sticky bomb printer. That is a waste. If this was like 2 years ago, it wouldn't have been. Might as well. Could be something interesting. It's not. Ah, teleporter is over here. I was right. Healy ones. Oh. Always fun having the aiming messing up my... The other one. Having the speed on enemy death messing up my aiming. Yeah, 2 bleeds. Fully loot. That's fine. A Beetle Queen. ×2, actually. See that? Ow. No. There we go. Oh. And by no, I mean no. Unfortunately, no Fondip explosions, but that's fine. Ow. Good. Loads of wisps pushing me back. My fault I was hovering more than anything else just then. No. Yeah, Polyloot off of that. Useful. Everyone come in together. There we go. Big bursty hits. I don't care if I'm going through the lethal circle. No. I just want the boss dead. Which it is! And now it is... What did I get? That's fine. I just didn't want it straight away as part of the actual level itself. Oh yeah, right, I got 2 of them, didn't I? You know what? I want a friend. Die. What is that? Is that a turret, maybe? I don't know. Ow. Why can they aim faster than I can move? Oh, I didn't realize one of them was still alive. Should be mostly safe now. It's just beetles, that's fine. He just walked into it, I'll take it. That was a highly questionable stage 1. But it wasn't a death. And yeah, that was a turret. In terms of what I got, it's not too bad. What's the red? There's also a Gesture of the Drowned, which I will happily take. I would also happily take this. And of course it leaves the 1 green I don't want. I want that. No, I think it's the answer. Well, full damage is no longer a concern, which is good. Plus, I can ground slam, which will be useful, especially considering I can shoot myself upwards. Overall, that was a good move, I think. Speed printer, no. Crit printer, sure. Or maybe speed printer after, I don't know. Oh, well there's that. Yeah, after that. Wasn't exactly what I was going to say. No. It's a green. It's a good green. It's the one I would have traded it and more things for. Obviously I couldn't have known that in any way, but sometimes it is better to just leave it and see. Oh. Ooh. Oh, now I wish I didn't pick up the thingy. But... oh no, hold on. That is not what I thought it was. I thought it was like the ukulele. Oh good, it took the one I didn't want. Hooray! No. Good. Then, as much as I want the speed, I also want the damage, but the damage I don't actually need. I gave up my other crit thing anyway, so actually I will take the speed. Hopefully you're not pre-spawn, because if you are, you'll be worthless to me. Maybe. Different speed printer. Kind I would do. No. I like Hook's Heresy, just not on Artificer right now, specifically. Would I scrap... oh, good. What would I scrap to make... speed? Fireworks could go. What else could go? Not really anything else, actually. That could be made into speed as well. I don't feel like that's 100% required. I would also like some kind of... Ooh, perfect money. A nice sparkle trail. Oh, that hit. Good. There was said scrapper. Oh, good. Where was the scrapper? Over here. Somewhere. I think that was a scrapper. Maybe. Or am I thinking about stuff in my brain going, yeah, that was definitely a thing there, and it just wasn't. Unless I'm thinking about wanting a scrapper. In which case, well, I just got 3 speed anyway, so I don't actually need to remove anything. No, I like Kubo Jr. right now. Ah, what was the twitch? That is enough for the chest. No, it isn't. I thought they were 83. Oh. Oh, I wish I was a scrapper. Genuinely don't remember if there was or not. I want to say there was, though. I genuinely have no idea why I have that habit. Okay, because of that, my window is being opened. Room is getting too warm. And by that, what I mean is it's currently 27.4. Which is too warm. I wouldn't even call that warm, that is just past warm. I like the water texture. I feel like that's... Ooh, a chest. At some point, I think it was updated. I couldn't say when. But at some point. And now I have money. That's the wrong thing. Where is it? There it is. That's fine. Oh. Not the worst. Yes, of course, on the run where I should have taken the... Do I need to go back? There's a multi-shop there. Several chests around. Yeah, on the run where I should have taken Plasma Bolt, there is, of course, Max Bleed and all that. And on the run where I should have taken Flame Bolt, there's Ignition Tank. You know what? For fun. A lot of the for fun is why I die, but for fun. So I thought that was the reason why there's the little particle effect. When you press space, it plays a particle effect when you have head stompers, when you leave the ground. If you don't press space, press R and then hold space, you don't leave the ground, so it just keeps doing it as it keeps constantly trying to make you jump, but obviously you can't because you're not actually on the ground. I thought that's what was happening. Oh, good. You should be the money I need. And you are. I understand this is actually quite a slow run right now. Why two? Actually, yeah, that's a good point, Brain. No. That did not do enough. That did. Run away. That's a gunner drone, don't care. I better not be an elite. Good. Vagrants. Stone Titans. Run away. Oh, like, no. Never mind. I was just gonna say, what did I get? And the answer is something that is not very useful. In my opinion, the worst of the boss items. Oh. I have no idea. Nope, you are actually burning me. Oh yeah, I see where you are. Or was that the one I was hearing? I don't think so, but maybe. Oh no, maybe it was. Now, overall, this run is basically a stage behind where I usually am on the timer, which isn't the best. Oh well. I'm genuinely tempted. That would be a lot of damage coming out, but I already have a lot anyway. No. I'll reroll once, though. I don't know if there's anything I actually want, though. Possibly a Brittle Crown. Not the best on Artificer. But considering I have a Polyloot, there's some opportunities, I guess. And some bonus money. Okay. It really isn't going to do very much for me now, though. I'm just going to move on with my 100. I honestly have no idea which I would want. Stage 3. Eh. But you are an elite. And that was a miss. And so were all they. That wasn't. You know, when I died on the previous run, I felt like I got stuck. I pressed R, which obviously gives you upwards momentum. And I'd imagine that what actually happened was I was pushed up into a ceiling. But no, I just felt like I got stuck and couldn't move. I'm surprised that hit. Yeah, like, that is obviously something you can do. Oh, good. I want this gone, just in case there's a Void Cradle. 193. Ow. No. I would like to keep my money. Stop taking my money away. That is my Artifice friend. Oh well. Actually, yes, I'm going to get rid of that because in Eclipse 5 onwards, it is basically worthless. Less regeneration than a slug. And slugs in Eclipse aren't that useful. That, however, is going to be very useful. No, I don't know. I feel like I have some power, but not really that much. Ow. There we go. All of my power basically comes from killing things, which is a problem because obviously it means I just need to kill the one and then the rest come out, but what about if you can't kill that one? That's open, isn't it? Yes. Don't know why I had trouble seeing that. That is not fine. Yeah, Artificer is definitely not the anti-air character. Well, she's the aerial character, but not the anti-air character. Just die. Next. There's just over here. Gold Crown was a good idea, because I knew that would be good. So I'm gonna assume that, just like Shrines of Blood, that... I'm up here now. Yeah, that just like Shrines of Blood, the thingy will take my money away, so I want to do it when I have low money. That works. Oh, good. I say is I'll just use it, and yes, it does. Lysate Cell. I don't know. I don't think I want it. Having multiple Ion Surges... I'll take it, why not? Multiple Ion Surges is useful, but it depends on the active item I have in the first place. Okay, why are you... I don't know why that one's that high. That's not going to give me anything, is it? Nope. That is... That works. There is... well, this chest here. For... 1 coin less than the coins I had. But is there... anything... oh, there was a chest there, actually. Whee! Which may be the one I just opened. Ah, it's not good. You can tell I pay attention. Most up damage seems to be my damage right now, but no, is there anything up here? No. Well, I shall scrap the Daisy. And then move on, I guess. Then leave. It's weird to think that this is my speed with 3 hoofs. I feel like I have none. Oh no, I feel like I have like 1. Teleport to me. That didn't do very much. I know what I can do. Teleport? Yes. I knew it would. Goodbye. That is a better boss item. Crits now cause bleeding, and bleeding enemies explode. Ow. I now just need something to bleed, because it's not. There we go. What is that? What are you? A large chest, which I somehow didn't even see. But yeah, now I can take Needle Tick and be fine. Yeah, sure, why not? Boop. Yes. That was a dead body. I think my strategy is just become Head Stomper, which I'm fine with because I need high alpha damage anyway. That's a term I barely use. I normally just say burst. Well, alpha is initial damage. You can go past me. I do this to your friend, then you get hit by them and don't die apparently. Like, I open my window, but my room's temperature has gone up, not down. I literally opened it from being actually closed. I don't know how I didn't see this big chest. It's actually kinda obvious. Not 100%, but yeah. What is it? Yeah, okay. I have a 16% chance to bleed, plus a 20% chance to bleed. As it turns out, the bleeds no longer stack. You can't apply 2 at once. It's kinda sad. Oh, good. An ATG. Pop! Which is exactly what I'll be taking from here. So I do see a Void Cradle. How much was it? I didn't actually ping it, did I? How much is it? 646. Okay. Boop. And now I have enough. That works. Which means that these, well, 646, surely implies these will be 323. Yes. I don't know why I pressed it. I don't even have enough. But I am going to buy... Oop. 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 I like how there are people out there who say Iron Surge is bad. you as well. It's not bad, it's just situational, like everything in this game. And now, while I have basically no money, I do this. And yes. Oh, I didn't die. I killed it. I'll take it. Dubo Artificer is good. No. Knew there was an item I was leaving. 2, basically 20% chances for bleed. Which does not mean a 40% chance for bleed. Unfortunately. Goodbye. Oh, one of them just died immediately. I'm assuming a missile must have come out. Probably. Yeah, this is why you stick with the questionable runs, because anything can happen in a run. But I got a Shatter Spleen on an otherwise unremarkable run, which just means I can... Why did I bounce? Ow. I have no idea. I want money. Is this possibly a stupid idea? Yes. Possibly a very stupid idea. It was not a stupid idea. Open? No. Okay. Did I... No. Okay, I saw a screen shake. I assumed that it would probably be the spawning of something very... Oh, no, it's open. Never mind. How did I don't know. I'm gonna assume that the teleporter was in there, then. Well, I should probably go for the legendary chest, but these chests here are just tempting. Make another Lysate cell, one of them, and another one of them, which I'm fine with. And yes, I did see the Imp Overlord, which, if there's a Tricorn, I'll use. Though I don't actually know how Shatter Spleen stacks. I'm assuming either damage or range? I doubt it would be an increase to bleed chance. That seems a bit too overpowered. Also, I should probably check how expensive the thing actually is. 5,000 something? 517. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. Oh, and I get up. That works. I guess I come over here and kill the Geep. There you are. Just a Geep. There we go. There's the money. Now just don't get hit. I'm hoping for a Clover, actually. That, I guess, is fine. That just gives me normal healing. Ow. So I would have preferred probably anything else, because I don't really want to rely on healing very much. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Something fell over there. Yeah, this stage has a load of chests. I'm fine with this. Good. Also good. Also good. Shrine of Chance. Ooh, there is another Shrine of Chance there. How expensive are the shrines? They are decently expensive. That is not what I wanted to do. Oh, I have no charges of that either, which means I just hemorrhaged all my money. That's decently cheap. I thought I had our charges, I didn't. Good. Then there is this, which I somehow doubt will be a card or tricorn. That was correct. Time to go gather the attention of an Imp Overlord. Is he still just... Yes, he's still just in the corner. Okay. That is not what I wanted to do. I did it again. Ow. He's gonna teleport. He didn't teleport. He teleported. He's teleporting too. Right there. Ooh. He's dead. Onwards. I see a gap. What is that? Energy drink printer. Do I have any white scrap? No. Unfortunately. That would be quite useful. Good job. I know I hear an old Lemurian somewhere. I'm assuming it's going to be an elite, considering it was probably a free spawn. Something's healing. Yes, it is an elite. Fair enough. At least it's the easiest kind of elite. Yeah, a bit too high for that. At least the... There we go. Yeah, at least the Menders don't actually heal themselves. That would be a bit interesting. I wish I found that recycler before I took the rejuvenation rack. I'm just going to move on. And yes, my room is going up in temperature, even though the window is open, and outside it's colder than in here. I'm gonna run away, because it could be a magma worm. That's an Imp Overlord. That's fine. Yeah, I'll deal enough damage, probably. I know that was risky, but that worked. Yeah, okay. I have no idea how these stack. I'm assuming it's just more damage. Or maybe higher explosion range. I know the 5%. Oh, right, no, they also have, they're also increased the crit rate, aren't they? Means I actually have whatever I said before, plus 5%. Whatever I have. Both 10, 10, and 5. So, 26%. That is not bad. I don't know if it's range. Could be range. Might just be purely damage up. Hello. Go away. The answer is... that's a deadly enemy. No, the answer is... Just damage. It literally just doubles the damage. Well, adds one set of damage per stack. So because I two of them, it doubled. Eee. And overloading Gulp. Yes. So was that. Yeah, plan to never actually fight in terms of getting hit. That. Sure. I'm just gonna let my... Ooh, good. There's a thing there. Yeah, I'm just gonna let my thingy kill it. Oh, that's extra health. And that is a stun chance. Oh, it's a Gulp stage. Fair enough. That makes sense. Which also means all I should expect to fight is Gulps. Ow. That works. Another charge. This is all going to be pointless, isn't it? Maybe, I don't know. What are you? Yes. That is in fact pointless. Oh, there are two Gulps. Okay. Ow. Here's a lot of money. Everyone come together. Boop. I'm just gonna do this. Ow. And obviously that too. What are you? No. Yes, I know. Void touched Gulp. Boop. That actually means I can have an infinite supply of Void Touch deletes given a Gulp. That's an interesting idea. Because as long as one of the gifts results in... Actually, I think that's how it would work. As long as one of the gifts, or any stage of it, results in infecting a Gulp, then you'd end up creating more Void Touched. Because all Void Touched Gulp stages corrupt sub-stages. That's an interesting experiment. I'm literally only looking for a card, and that's just for the multi-shots on this stage. Realistically, I doubt there will be very much. And is it? I'm slowly turning towards the whole this room is getting too hot, which part of it is also the heat, which isn't actually that bad. My computer, considering the parts, it's actually no saying that. 3700X is a 65 watt TDP processor. It's actually really light. But for the power it is, it's really energy efficient, which is nice. What are you? Will-o'-the-wisp. If I have nothing else to spend my scrap on, I might as well. But yeah, I might actually stop after this run, because this is going in a direction of I am getting too hot. Which is kind of annoying. So by the end of this run, I feel like I'd actually have spent quite a while. This isn't a slow run. Oh, good, more crit chance, which means more bleed chance. Why are you chasing that one? Slam you into the void. Okay, now I need to go up there. Eee. Bye. That's fine. Ah, it's equipment, yeah. Loads of shrines. Fair enough. No. They'll just miss. Death. Give me a... There we go. Whee! Ow. Oh. 16 just from the 3 things. Okay. Oh. That was, not very worth it. I really don't think I have much risk of dying on this run. Overall, I really doubt I will. And given what I know I can do to Gups, I feel like the boss will be quite an easy one as well. Amazing Gup. Yes. Okay, now I go into here, then I do this. Well, that one just fell off the stage, so sure. And here's the other one. It'll pretty much just mean that. What's my reward? Oh, Warhorn! Sure. Gups are some of the best for the chain reactions. They're amazing sounding. Twangy pops are the best. I might actually leave the scrap, and I might see if there's anything interesting in a red printer, a cauldron. In the final stage. I don't know. Oh, and also to add on to my list of stuff, I have a headache now as well. That's fun. On a day where I'm like, oh yeah, I don't think I'm that sick anymore, and then this happens as soon as I start doing this. Ooh, a big chest. Also, yeah, it's a good thing that I didn't get a single backup magazine. I know I could have printed some, but I chose not to. Oh well. This has actually been one of the weakest runs. Well, no, it's not. In terms of the item spread, it's one of the weakest. I don't actually have very much. In terms of the item power, kill something and everything else just dies because I have 2 shatter speeds. So I like how I'm fighting gummy enemies with a gummy artificer. What are you? Sure. I'm just gonna move on. I could print more Will-O-Wisps, but I don't see a reason to. I'm just gonna run straight to the cauldrons and then just... that. I know there was a shrine of Altar of Gold, that one. But I would rather not. Like the brain has a defense mechanism against speech. That's a decent healing rate. How many? Oh, 2 shield generators. That should. Oh, that's fine. I think. Rather big. I don't know. One-shot protection is irrelevant anyway. It has nowhere near as much weight as people say it does. It's useful, but it's not the be-all and end-all of defense in this game. It used to be, not now. Hello, random perfected. Of course you did. Boop. Hi. Whee. I guess this is just my movement speed. Yes, I know. Go away. I like how they just shoot rock shards at you. Like, they're not bullets or anything. They're just chunks of rock. Dang it. Rejuvenate? No. Maybe. If I could get a Nukan's opinion, then maybe... No, actually. Only one cauldron on top. What else is there? What are you? Squid Pollet? No. Is that really it? Oh no, there's one in there. What are you? Maybe. Is it really worth giving up 5 of these greens? 3 of them actually, because I have 2 scrap. Not when any of them could be my ATG, which is pretty much all I care about in terms of my greens. Takes a lot of Ion Surges to get up here. Hi, Guboju. Oh, I think you're going in the void. Oh yeah, no, you are. Hi. And gone. Here we are. Can you? No. Ah, they despawned. Alright, that's a good point, actually. I can do this. Whee! Again, he really seems determined to just jump up to reach me when I do that. I'm sure it's part of programming. No, you're not allowed. Yeah, if I didn't take Lysate Cell, as much as I have amazing aerial maneuverability right now, if I didn't take Lysate Cell, I would be able to pretty much just flood the arena with clones. Oh, not frozen. Oh well. No way with him. Target 1. How are you? Okay. I accept. Didn't die on 1. I might though. There we go. Also, of course, I have like 4 focus crystals, which is working very nicely too. I didn't. Ow. And ow! Die. I didn't explode. I don't know if I'm surprised that this is the phase where I use the thingy though. Because on one hand, like, yeah. On the other hand, I don't know. I don't have a double jump. That's gonna be good to remember. I believe... Yes, it did. I'm just cancelling all of his movements. Ooh, why did my mouse stop deciding to make me turn? And yes, Kubo Jr. is weak compared to me. Hi. Come over here. Through this. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to even try to do the attack, because I think I cancelled him out of that phase. Okay, well now I run away. Then I just throw Kubo Jr. at him. Oh, he was actually still alive. Perfect. Problem is he has Polyloot, so hits. They won't hit. Oh, I have Gesture of the Drown back. Oh, that works. He's going... Kubo Jr. is going in anyway. Possibly. There. Oh, he did hit. Nice. I can go in and be fine, probably. Keyword is probably... I have nothing... Yeah, I had nothing necessarily short range to worry about, did I? I had nothing where if I go in close, I'll just die. Oh yes, scrap. The most valuable of all the things. There we go. That's clean. That's good. And I wonder if the crystals on Mithrix's body change depending on whether or not you have a red or green or not. All whites, actually. Like, if you have only reds, does he only gain the red crystals? So obviously that's what they are. Eh, not bad. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to end after this one, even though it was only a shorter one. I did some progress, but I'd rather not be in another heating room. So now I shall Pixel Sparkle my way down, apparently. Good. And from this shall come a win. I was just waiting to do that the whole time. Oh, fun. I understand that it's like containing the moon because the void collects, but surely that would mess up the gravitational system of the planet. Considering the proximity of the moon to the planet as well, either the moon isn't very dense, or there are some extreme tides on the planet's surface. Actually, that makes sense considering how high the sea seems to be. Many of the stages are coastal stages, or it's just a flooded planet. Oh, trees and things. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I shall end before my throat explodes. Or my head. Or the room. But yeah. Bye.